Whoa, guys! Welcome back to the studio. Ryan, aka BloodShot Airbrushing, and we are back for round 6. Minus a finger. I only got 5 of them. I know you guys are looking forward to this one. This is kind of the tutorial wrap-up. However, I think I'm gonna add a little bonus video on this tutorial series for you guys coming on down the line. What do you think it could be? You'll have to wait and see. Alright guys, a little bit of airbrushing, a little bit of paintbrushing, adding some color, and a wrap up for this one. Nothing to it but to do it. Check it out. Man, the best place to start is right where we left off. Now, I didn't do the eye, mostly because that video is getting really long, a lot of information, and because I want to keep this all in the color video. So all I'm doing right now, besides causing a ruckus, man, that Cobra sounds angry, I'm just building back up my whites. Make that eye nice and bright so that I can get in there with my paintbrush and just give it a little bit of a pupil. Little bit of a cat's eye pupil. I know. Adds to the effect. Later on down the line, I add a whole bunch of little snarly little teeth to this guy too. So we're not pushing for hyper-realism. This is more fantasy art. You'll have to cut me some slack on this one. Alright guys, now in with my yellow. This is a water-based Indian yellow. This is actually my FW inks, nice and transparent, so I'm allowing that white to fight back on through, and as you can see, pretty much still spraying more paint on my stencil than I ever get onto that project, guys, and just building it up nice and slow. And even that looks pretty cool, but wasn't what was requested, so while I got the yellow in my brush, I'm going to tone, just ever so lightly tone the belly of the snake, just to break it away from the black and white, and then, a little bit more there, and then, in with the green. Now, this is my urethane paint, guys. Well, not really mine, this actually comes from the body shop. This is urethane candy green. And I just love it for the transparency. Again, using urethanes and water-based. This will be the last layer. I won't be able to do any water-based paints over top my urethanes. Urethanes got to be the sealant, and this got to be the last coat. So, nice and slow, guys. Build it up. Double check. Make sure that you're happy with it. And now I'm just going in. If this goddamn phone would focus. Not my knuckle, the snake. Yeah, modern technology. I'm still learning here, and I'm all self-taught. But as you can kind of vaguely see when it focuses every now and then, I'm just kind of building up that green around the edges of that eye, just to again deepen that green around the outside of it, allowing that yellow to fight through. And now a bit of a tone wash over the scale portion of the body. Not much, guys, just enough to give it a hint of a tone of a color. Easy as she goes. That's it, that's all. Ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. Alright, let's fast forward through this one. Oh, no, that would be the wrong direction. Let's try that again. There we go. Even in 8 times the real speed, it still takes a while. But check it out, guys. Getting real close. Getting real close. So now I gotta tighten up these hands with some paintbrush work. And I'm just gonna go in with my white, thinned out, and bring back some of these areas that I want to be bright, and punch some of these highlights that I want to be nice and bright. And that's about it. Again, not outlining the entire bone, not outlining the entire knuckle, just where my highlights are. keeping in mind where my light source is. Bada boom, bada bing. And also just crisping up some of these edges where the stencils may have gotten just a little bit of overspray. That's about it, guys. That's really all I'm doing. Just punching my highlights. I will go back in with darks as well. But right now, highlights. And I usually start with more of a transparent paint and work my way to more of an opaque. Reason being, with transparency, you got a little bit more play. Once you go to more of an opaque, then, well, as you can guess, the coverage power, it's really bright. It doesn't have as much give. This is why I build it up nice and slow. So build up with a transparent paint. Make sure that you're happy with where you're putting your highlights slowly. And then once you get in with more of a opaque paint, well, you already know that you're happy with where everything's going because you did it nice and slow. So when you're back, finally hitting it with the opaques, you're just hitting those tiniest little areas just to make that little tiny highlight sing. And that's it. That's how I do. That's how I done did it. That's how it got done. Done did her. Did her done. Get her done. Alright, that's enough of that. Wasn't the best camera angle for hand number 2, so we're just gonna blast on through this, guys. Same thing, starting with more of a transparent and working my way to the opaques. The areas I'm painting are getting smaller and smaller as I go. And now we got her set up with a decent angle so that you can see the highlight of this menacing project. The skull. And it's probably good as is, but I always push for that added layer of detail. It's what I'm known for, guys. It's what I do. So here we are, just using that white, making any little corrections that I need to. As you can see, sharpening up a couple of these teeth. And then going back in, making sure those highlights fit in with the rest of it. Bringing back some of these front edges. I think my dentist would be proud. Or scared to death. One of the two. My guess would be the latter. I don't care what you do, where you are. You don't want to see this guy coming for you. Your day is done. Hey, early dismissal. The early retirement program. Yeah, no. Let's not go there. Let's go here. And again, as you can see, guys, pushing just the tiniest little details, bringing up some of these edges, using my finger every now and then just to tone back the paint that I put on there. It works. It works. And just keeps on going, guys. And as you see, the more we go, just the more details get added. The shinier the skull gets, the more paint I put on my finger. And again, keeping in mind where the light source is. Right there. Right there. I'd point if you could see me pointing. But it's good to keep a mental note. And keeping in mind there's always backlights too, guys. Light bounces. So just because you got a single light source doesn't mean that there isn't any backlight. So every now and then, kick just the tiniest little highlight some of your back edges. Or at least that's what I did here in my imaginary little world. It's a small place, but it's a happy place. Alright, guys. I hope you're getting something out of this, guys. I really do. Oh, and again, the handy little Q-tip. Got a little bit of white where I wasn't quite happy with it, so just a little bit of saliva on a Q-tip, and that'll erase that quite quickly. And a little bit of added detail to my cracks, again keeping it to the highlighted edge. Keep it consistent, guys. As you can see for this one, guys, I pretty much work the entire piece. I know some guys will focus on one area and paint that and then work that to finish, and then but I like to work the entire piece. It's kind of how I've always done it, kind of how I'm gonna keep doing it. So I hope you can learn a little something, but you don't have to do it this way. This is just one way of many. It serves me well. I hope it can serve you as well. And this is it, man. This is one color, okay, guys? This is just white. All I'm doing is going in with white, but using different consistencies of white. So I've just got some opaque white on my little painting block, and I've got some of my fantastic cleaning / thinning solution in my little shot glass. And I just dab the brush in that shot glass to get a little bit of that thinner on it and mix it right on the mixing block and then bring it up to the piece. Just working those areas that I believe to be the highest highlights. As you can see, guys, I go multiple passes as I go. Just keep building it up. Keep building it up until you're happy. And if you get her too bright in some areas, you could always come back and knock her back with the airbrush, which I probably will do, guys. This just gives me all of my definition, gives me some nice crisp edges where I want them. And I'd love to show you how I painted this eye. However, my Neanderthal knuckle is once again in the way, but good thing there's two of them. So here we go on eyeball number 2. As you can see, guys, slowly building it up, figuring it out slowly where my center dot will be, and then blending away from that dot. Building up the interior of the eyeball as well, knowing that some of my colors are going to be bouncing up on some of these interior edges. I got a little bit of probably dog hair in there. I'm gonna blame it on the dog. So before you get too deep in there, before that hair gets too embedded, make sure you get rid of it. You can blow it with the airbrush, you can swipe it with your finger, you can even pick at it with an X-Acto knife should you need. But make sure you deal with it. Wow. Take that stencil off. And those, look at that. They just get washed out by the light. Crazy. It just goes to show how the lighting can really skew what you guys see on the other end here. Lesson being, don't always believe what you see on TV. Unless you're watching, the BloodShot channel. We're all truth all the time. I got nothing to hide. Slowly building up these yellows, guys. I think the better lesson would be is question everything. Ponder that for a moment. Is he even spraying at all? Yes, guys, I am adding color. It's just such light layers that at times you can hardly see me applying any paint at all. And yes, full disclosure here, guys. There are times where I am totally just blowing air. Not hot air, just out the brush, drying the paint that was applied. Just air. Wow, man, that gets washed out by the lights. Oh, that's driving me crazy. Alright, I've decided to dub this stencil the Raggedy Ann and Death. Some curly red hair on the Reaper there. Testing the color always before I apply it onto my project, guys. I want to know what's coming out of that brush before I'm putting it on my project. Paint spits if it's too opaque, especially some of these candies. Man. Alright, that was me doing a double check, seeing how the colors were coming through, if I was happy. And we're definitely gonna put a little laser dot target on his forehead and build this up a little heavier with these reds. Once again, guys, this is my House of Color urethane candies along with that green HOK House of Color, guys. Beautiful candies. I love them. Whenever I have the opportunity, I use them, but always as a last resort. And when I say that, I mean this is the last color to be applied. Nothing goes over top of it but a final clear coat. Trying to go water-based over top of the candies, and you can run into some serious bleeding problems. Usually that candy will come back through any kind of water base you put over top of it as soon as that clear touches it. And it's kind of disheartening, guys. You have the whole thing painted, you think it looks great, you send it off for clear, you come back, and then, yeah. So let that be a lesson. You can cover the candy, just don't use water base. You're definitely relegated to using urethanes from here on in. So if I wanted to darken that with some black, water base would do nothing, but a urethane black would do everything that I would need it to. And again, bouncing some of these reds off some of these other areas to make it look like there is light bouncing, and making it look like some of these bones are rounded, and you're catching just the hint of the light reflecting off of the inside surface of said rounded portions. And this paint is quite thin, guys. Really thin, to be honest. But again, this allows me to build up any areas I want to build up nice and slow. And the beautiful thing with these candies, guys, is the more color you apply, the deeper it gets. And I call it rich. It just gives some rich, rich tones. I wish you guys could see this in person. As you are learning, the camera never does it justice. But it's the best you're gonna get. Oh man, and once we have some clear over top of this, guys, everything just pops. You get that pearl of a base. I think we decided that was metallic. You get that metallic base in behind, and man, that's when this guy really comes to life, and he's doing a pretty good job already. Alright guys, I know I've got my big noggin in the way. Here we go. All I am doing is tighten up this little tongue, making sure I'm happy with it before I give it some color. And again, I will be using my candy red for this, super transparent, so that all my nice little white tones I'm building up and all my little wet highlights that I've put in there, well, they fight right through, right on through to the other side. Jeez. And notice the amount of time I'm taking to make sure that this stencil is absolutely lined up exactly where I need it. And now we are going to my battery died and I didn't know. I just kept spraying, but the phone wasn't recording. Sorry. I'm an amateur at best. But at least I know it. I'm not claiming to be anything but. Alright guys, so all these little stencils you saw me line up just give me a nice little outline of the Reaper. so that I can go in with a crazy transparent white and just build up a nice little glow. Being as the Reaper is predominantly black with his cloak and all, I'm building up a glow behind him. Just gives him a little bit more of a silhouette. Gives him more shape and form. The top stencil I cut there, I didn't cut out the back of the head. So we're going back to my original stencil, because I've got that already cut out. Not that you can see, because again, it's a amateur camera angle. But, oh, we're going to do a couple more of those. Here you go. Just pretend you know exactly what's going on. Adding some transparent white. That's what I'm doing. And once I get my transparent white on there, guys, I'm going to go in with silver, pearl silver, and just going over the entire thing and blending that white out into the metallic black base that we've got going on throughout. That's it, guys. Slowly blending that silver over top of that white and then bringing it out. I'd say about 3 to 4 inches past the edge of the cloak, and this just gives a nice glow. Again, not really worried about the snake staff, the hand, the card. This is just for the Reaper because he's predominantly black. A little bit more silver over here. Again, using my hand as a bit of a stencil. Whatever works. And that's going to be about it, guys. The last final throws of paint onto this project. Or are they? Peel it all off, have a good look, make sure I'm happy, which, oh yeah, you know I am. And now you can see a little bit more of that green tone to the snake body when the light hits it right. What do you guys think? Focus. What do you guys think? Gnarly. He looks pretty happy. I'm pretty happy. I had a lot of fun with this one. Big wraparound and totally different. Alright, guys, and that is it for that one. I did promise you a bonus video, but I ain't gonna tell you what it is. You can guess if you want, if you're so inclined. I'll let you know if you're right. And if you have any questions, drop me a line. If you have any comments, you know I love to hear what you guys think. And we will do a wrap up, where we see the bike all assembled. I know you guys want to see that. I want to see that. So of course you guys want to see that. And that's it for this one, guys. As always, like, follow, subscribe. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Cheers. And don't forget, my friends, plenty of other videos to check out. Lots of other project tutorials, the beginner series, and airbrushing hacks.